Hey, little bonus video here. A lot of people ask how I do keyword research and do I need to pay for all these services? And don't get me wrong, if you're trying to find a niche site, sure. But when I'm doing service industries, which is a lot of our clients are local service types industries. So my brother-in-law happens to be an electrician, not in my local area, so I'll give you an example. We're working on his website, and so panel upgrades is a conversation right now that we're having and talking about, and figuring out how we're going to make it rank in a way that other people don't. So let me show you something. So up here, this is the Ultimate Keyword Hunter. You guys have seen me use it, I think, a couple of times, but I do talk about it, and I even mention it's actually my go-to. It's probably my favorite keyword research tool, to be honest, at least for this type of stuff. So I live in Ventura, California, and so I'm going to look for panel upgrades because, again, it's about the entity and then the location, or the service and the location. So let's parse these sites out here. These are going to hit Google, and I'm only having it look for the most common 4 types of words. This is an Ngram analysis. So whether using Surfer SEO, Neuron Writer, Page Optimizer Pro, any of those editors and NLP applications, basically the very first thing they do when they go scrape your results is do an Ngram analysis. So this allows me to do that without using an external tool. Now, I'm not really care about what Yelp has to say. Let's get rid of that. Well, notice local. So to me, this looks easy to rank. If my brother-in-law was a local electrician, this would be awesome. But so we've got one home advisor, again, not important. BBB, not important. So Angie's List, also not an expertise, not important. So we can see really there's only 3 sites in the top 10 that are actually even electricians. So this would be so easy. So I'm going to analyze these. All done. Now, here's the results, and here's what we get. So these are the most common word combinations used. And let me explain what this does. So the most common word in these sites is the word AMP. It's used 52 times on 2 websites. Like, to me, probably not the important keyword. So to me, it says someone didn't really optimize their content very well. Panel makes sense. Electrical, lighting, the city, fuse would be a part of it. Circuit box. Okay, cool. So generally speaking, an application like ZimWriter will, with auto keywords, would probably use most of these because it's so easily associated within context. Most common 2-word combination: fuse box, electrical panel, circuit breaker. Right on. Talks about landscape lighting. Interesting. Now you notice only one site uses these particular terms. That's what's interesting about this. And some of these terms have only been used on one, but it's been used a lot. So we know it's valuable. 3-word combinations: pro, electrician, Ventura. Not really interested. It's not important. I'm not trying to rank for that. Electrical panel upgrade, though, is, right? Created with Sketch. Nope. Panel upgrade, Ventura would be. Circuit breaker box would be. Find an amp, design and install, upgrade sub panels, panel electrical wiring. So these are terms that then I would pull in. You check mark these, and you can grab all these later on, or you can export them all. It's a great, wonderful tool. Free. Let's look at our most common 4 words. Contractor of the month. Okay, cool. Probably from, I don't know what. They were rated at Better Business Bureau or something. Don't really care. An amp, pro, panel upgrade, sub panels. So you can take this to where it goes even into like 5-word combination. If you're not every industry will have that, but there are a couple that I've ran into in the past that I've actually found real 5-word combinations that were used extensively through some content because it was very specific to a product or very specific to a service. And it made sense. So it was something I had seen and was using already, but it was interesting that it picked it up. So this is my wonderful little cool, my wonderful cool little tool. I love it. It works great, works well, and you should probably explore it a little bit if you are into services. If I was talking to someone today, they work with concrete slabs, and the salience on the wording wasn't correct, but AI will sometimes miss some of these things. So you can take an article and drop it somewhere. This is an article we did as a test yesterday. So I can take the word cannabis as an example and see how much it's used. But what about cannabis plant? Oops. How many are there? By next. So you'll see just that term is used quite a bit. So there's different ways you can see on how much a term is being used, and that's one of the things that I do to just double check. So AI can create my content. I could drop it in there. I can search for these terms, and if I find something like it matches like one of the 3 words or the 2 words or something, but not the 4, so I generally start off at my 2 words. You can see what's common amongst all of them. So if I choose electrical panel is going to be over here too. So, but here it has upgraded added for the 3rd word, which makes sense. You do the exact same thing. So I'll go through and I'll find all the 2 words. I'll go through and I'll look for electrical panel, and I'll go through the content and I'll see, oh, okay. It also includes the 3 and it includes the 4 as well. If it doesn't, then I manually add it, and it makes it so much easier that way. Artificial intelligence generated content is actually fairly decent. It just misses some things. You miss some great terms, some real things that people are actually looking for. Look for those alternative terms too. So again, if we're talking about fuse boxes and fuses, what type of amperage can they take? Is there a difference? Wire gauges. So you can bring some other terms into it, those other entity-based terms, so you can tag those later on. And you can even use those for internal linking. So say someone's searching on your site or looking for something about amperages, you can actually use that as a word and group everything that's related to amps to one, regardless of we'll get into that another time. Anyways, you guys have a great afternoon. Oh, like, share, subscribe. Join the Facebook group. Usually when I first post a video, there's no description or affiliate links or any of that good stuff. But if you support what I do and you want to see more, and trying to get to the point where I can add one more person to the team member. And basically they would just be my other half in creating the YouTube videos and doing some editing. That way I can just record them. They can fix the audio. They can do a really cool intro. That's where we're at right now. We're kind of thinking about that process.